Okay, so here we are on this job in Amity, New York, and what we want to do is put an addition right where we're standing here. This will be a garage. The problem is he's got a lot of water problems. So as you can see here, the ground is like super wet, and part of our other problem is right there's the septic system. So we wanted to bring a ditch down in between the garage and that way, because as you can see earlier, there's a lot of water in the driveway, which we're going to put in a new driveway and try to get water as much as we can away from that so we can at least pull in and out of here. And then the other thing he's planning on doing over here, and this is Bob. How you doing, Bob?
How you doing today?
Good. Over here we also plan on putting an addition, and there's some other things we have to worry about. Is there is a water line coming out over here, so we have to kind of pay attention to where that is. And then unfortunately nothing is documented, so we're really trying to figure this out as best we can. They have put in a electric line from here down to the pool area.
Where that French drain comes around.
Oh, right there. So
How I know.
so Bob was putting in electric down here. He discovered a French drain, so we think that French drain is coming from up in there. So we're hoping to be able to miss that. We'll kind of see how that goes. But to start off first, we're going to start off the top here and dig a trench around the top and try to just clean this area up here so it'll dry out for us. Then when we bring in the addition, which is going to go in over here, we'll be able to bring in some log trucks so that they can pretty much cement trucks, everything that they need to
Truckloads of money.
yeah to bring this project forward. So all right, so let's get started. Okay, so part of our other problem here is that it's low this much here, and if we go over behind the septic where we're trying to just stay away from everything, it gets us a little closer. It's about a foot drop. And if we go this way, she's right dead on. So we got a 3-foot trencher, so we're hoping that we can get as close as we can. It does go the other way, so we might be able to come close to that.
Start swinging right away.
Swinging it. But and we do know that down this way is where the leach is, so yeah, we believe it comes out of the septic here.
1,000-gallon septic tank right here.
Yep.
They dug that up. We know that. That's all we know.
And
Health department doesn't have any drawings.
And we believe it goes right down underneath my truck, or underneath the tractor actually, and the leach is down that area. So
the rumor mill has it.
So
no paperwork. Don't like it.
So we'll kind of see how this goes. So all right, so let's have at her. Okay, as we're building our French drain, in our particular case, we made our French drain 3 feet deep. And we're using a workhorse 36-inch trencher, and it trenches about 6 inches wide. Now when you're doing a French drain, it's important to follow these depth rules. You want about 6 inches of crushed 2s or 3s on the very bottom. Then you want your 4-inch perforated pipe on top of it. Then on top of it, you put in your 26 inches of crushed 2s or 3s on top of that. Now the reason why you do the 6-inch crushed stone on the bottom is that that's where you can let all the mud go over time. Now here you can see we're not going very fast. We're going down about 12 inches at a time, and we slowly work our way along. You can see on top there we don't have a lot of stones, and then you can see down there much deeper, 3 feet down, at our final depth. So the last thing that's really, really important is you do not want to cover the top of the French drain. You want to leave that open so that the water doesn't jump over the top. If you put topsoil on top of it, it could potentially run right over the top of the French drain, and the French drain won't be able to do its business. So it's important to leave the top open. Always have stone on the very bottom to kind of fill up with mud over time, and then about 4 inches up is where your 4 to 6 inches up is where your perforated pipe sits. Okay, so let's keep working our way here. Okay, so here we are. I absolutely love this machine, but hooking up the hydraulics to the front here is sometimes a real bear. What I have to do is loosen up these here, and sometimes I have to loosen this here just so that I can relieve the pressure to get this on here. But there's a little valve inside here that once you toggle it forward and you press that A/B switch, that will allow you, and usually that works, but sometimes it can be a real nuisance. So what we're going to do is kind of move things around here a little bit, loosen this up, and see if we can get this back together. Okay, so we're going to start by loosening this up here first. And sometimes that makes a big difference. Right there. Now you can see how that fluid's running off there pretty good. And that's this one here. So let's see if we can. Oops. See? So just by taking a little pressure there, that just makes all the difference in the world. And let's see if we can get this second one in. Alright, I'm going to toggle that switch the other way here. Let's see if this will work for us. There! Beautiful. So again, a lot of it just has to do with pressure on these rams for these, they call this a clam bucket. I'll tell you, it's a lifesaver because the bucket opens up and allows you to grab right onto something. It's got some pretty good grippers on there as well. Okay, so that should work for us. Okay, so kind of tell you a little bit about what I'm using. I'm actually using a John Deere Worksite Pro. It's called a TR36B trencher. And I've had this thing now for almost 6 years. No, actually 7 years. And it's just bullet. There's really not a whole lot of things to grease on it. Everything all runs from this hydraulic pump. And it works really, really well. It'll go on any skidster attachment. Works out pretty good. And this is a 3-footer. It works out quite well. And then I've got a 110 TLB John Deere. I bought this back in 2001. Actually, I bought this for my dad. And God rest his soul, he was able to play with that for at least 3 or 4 months before he passed with cancer. But he always wanted to have his own tractor, and I'm glad that I was able to give that to him before he passed away. But this 110 TLB, it's got just shy of 1,000 hours on it. Like I say, I bought this new back in 2002, 2001, I think it was. So it's just a beautiful machine. What's kind of nice about the TLB is this actually can come off the back. There's just a couple of pins right here. Put the downriggers down and add your pressure, lay your boom out, and then it'll release these 2 pins here. That'll take that right off the back, and you got a normal tractor. So I ordered all the hydraulics with it, so I can run just about everything from the arm up on top here. So inside of here, there's this arm mechanism where I can control everything. This turns your main hydraulics, auxiliary hydraulics on, and then this toggles them. So if you want it to always run forward, you can toggle that switch forward, and that'll run either the hydraulic in the back or the front all the time forward. And you hit this way and it'll toggle it back the other direction. So, but this has been just a phenomenal machine. I'm just super excited to be able to do this. I just love the John Deere machines in general. They do a great job for everything. And then to haul everything around, I use this hydraulic trailer, PJ trailer. This one's a 24-footer. I had a 20-footer, and I'll tell you, having this extra space up front makes a huge difference So you can just load attachments on the front and then load everything on the back. And just by the way the machine levels, or the weight of the tires, it's just about perfectly balanced, so you can put your load on front and be able to put all that together. Okay, so now that we got that all done, our mission here is to fill in the ditch and see how it goes.